to speak with you today. I'm also an old paramedic who's seen far too many crashes on roads and highways, and hopefully our coalition will help to reduce that here in Mendocino. When all the hard work of safety educators and engineers and law enforcement fail, when it fails to prevent crashes, emergency response by first responders and emergency medical services is required. I'm proud to represent members of the EMS team at this Traffic Safety Coalition, and this includes medical dispatchers, first responders and volunteers, EMTs, paramedics, flight nurses, and ER nurses and doctors. EMS is a bridge agency working with the medical, public health, and public safety communities. The Traffic Safety Coalition brings together not only community health and public safety, but local, county, and state engineers and planners from diverse agencies, and gives us the opportunity to work together towards a common purpose of safety on the roads and highways of Mendocino County. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam. Our next member will be from AODP, Meredith Reinhardt.
Opportunity. I coordinate a California Office of Traffic Safety grant, and being a member of the coalition has greatly enhanced my work and the projects that I have to deliver throughout Mendocino County. It's primarily an education grant for middle to high school students in the area of traffic safety prevention. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not sure if there's anyone here from Caltrans. Oh, Ms. Holm from Caltrans is here today.
Good afternoon, members of the board. I'm Chris Holm, and I'm the Speed Zone Coordinator for District 1 Caltrans. And my boss, Ralph Martinelli of the Office of Traffic Safety, would probably be able to give you a good overview of everything that's going on in Mendocino County as far as what the state traffic safety is doing. But I have a more narrow view, and that is the speed zones. And so I did send a message to Christy, including a link of how we do reduce speed zones on state highways. And it includes a booklet which kind of goes over the basics of speed zoning and answers a lot of questions about how we set those. And so there's a link to this, and that may be useful information for you. And if you have any questions at all, I'm available to answer questions. So I just wanted to say that I know that sometimes when we set the speed, it seems counterintuitive. I get a lot of calls from the public about, oh, can we lower the speed on this sign, and can we move it a half mile to the south? And they're speeding by my house. And I have to say that, you know, we have a process that we follow that is set by the vehicle code, and there's actual study that we go through, and we try to pick the speed that we follow, try to follow the basic speed law, basically. That most drivers don't want to cause themselves a problem or run over somebody in the highway. They don't want to hurt themselves or others, and the majority of drivers are reasonable and prudent and will take conditions into account. So we go through a study, we look at the 85th percentile of speeds that drivers are following, and then we look at the collision history in that stretch of road, and then we look at any hidden conditions that might be going against the basic speed law, where a driver would not be able to take into account the conditions. And then we put all those together and come up with a reduced speed zone. And they have to be renewed every 7 years, and they can be updated if traffic conditions haven't changed. But if we let them expire, then we create a speed trap, and California Highway Patrol cannot enforce their tickets by radar anyway. And so we don't like to let that happen.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Carrie?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
In the code or the regulations, I've received, as a new First District supervisor, a number of phone calls from North State Street, probably close to, imagine the whole area close to Central Avenue. And there's a number of homes or driveways, they back right out onto North State Street, and according to all the neighbors out there, it's a high speed. And with the number of homes, they felt there was something in the code that basically would bring that speed limit down to 35 rather than the 55, 45, 55 it is today. I don't have all the notes with me.
And I can't answer specifically to that stretch of highway, but I do know that there are thresholds set in the vehicle code about whether it's a business or residential district. It's just a prima facie speed limit that it would be, I think it's 25 miles per hour, but it's a certain density of business and residences on either one side of the highway or on both sides of the highway in like a quarter mile. So it is set out in the vehicle code. And if you want, I could email you the section of the vehicle code that covers that.
That would be fabulous.
Okay.
I appreciate it greatly. Thank you.
Okay, so I can just go through Christy to get your
Correct.
email address then?
Correct.
Okay. Great. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Speed zone is a topic of discussion quite a bit at our coalition, and I went to that link that she gave there at Caltrans on the website, and I would highly recommend that you look at it because it's very informative. It'd probably answer a lot of the questions that you get from your constituents. I know I get letters from various people in the county about, what the speed limit is and how it's set, and there are really a lot of misconceptions that people have, the general motoring public, about what speed limits do and what they can't do and how changing a speed limit might affect traffic. So I would highly recommend that you go to that, and I always refer any letters that I get to that particular website. But and then the last speaker that we have from our coalition is Lieutenant Adam Yeager. He's the area commander for the Highway Patrol in the northern part of Mendocino County. Garberville is where his office is, but he has a resident post in Laytonville that he oversees, and basically those patrol officers cover pretty much the area of Mendocino County north of Willits, and my area handles the area south of that. So Lieutenant Adam Yeager.
Thank you, Ray. Good afternoon, supervisors. As he said, I'm Adam Yeager. I'm the commander of the Garberville area. And not only do we have a good portion of southern Humboldt, but we handle a very good portion of northern Mendocino County. I have a resident post in Laytonville with 5 officers and a sergeant. I brought my sergeant here, Greg Bartz. He basically runs northern Mendocino County for me. And one thing that we're very proud of is we've spent a lot of time partnering with Sheriff Tom Allman and working in Covelo, and we joined in with his town hall meetings on Wednesdays once a month, and we go there and we listen to the concerns of the residents. We try to answer their concerns. We try to educate them, and then we always follow up with a lot of enforcement out there. And so we've seen some real improvement out in that area. I'd like to see some more improvement on SR 162. We've had a couple fatals there this year, and we're going to be bringing our plane over to help us work that area. So we'll put officers up there. We'll have an airplane running